and I wished him well.
The argument for censorship. He calls it something else.
Yeah, I forget the term. I have it in my phone.
But I don't even think he's using the term right. But he's basically like, there's a window of ideas we accept.
Yes.
And we accept ideas between this, I guess this is, if I get window, you're looking like this. So we accept ideas between here and here. And anything outside of that window, well, you're fireable. That's censorship.
What?
But he's acting as if this is like a justified reason for firing people when you built your identity and platform off of no censorship and freedom of speech and facts don't care about your feelings and all this shit.
It's also funny that that window happens to end where his beliefs end.
Isn't
that interesting?
You would say that.
Not being pro-Israel, that's where the window ends. That's also your specific personal belief.
What?
So I just don't see.
You can't have an opinion on your platform that is.
They're not talking about Elon. They're talking about Ben Shapiro. Everyone in the podcast circuit is currently shitting on Ben Shapiro for firing Candace Owens, myself included. Critical support to Candace Owens, based anti-Israel warrior, based anti-Semitic anti-Israel warrior. Is so funny to me, and it will never not be funny to me, that Ben Shapiro and everyone at the Daily Wire literally fucking saw Candace Owens, okay? And we're like, oh yeah, she's anti-Semitic, she's anti-black, she's all the things, right? And they were like, this is great, including that she's anti-Semitic. They didn't care about it. And then they were like, wait a minute, but she's anti-Israel at a time when, we can't have that. And they were like, all right, you're fired. Now, a lot of people in this orbit, in this sphere, in the podcasting sphere, are basically looking at it with a very hollow understanding of the situation where they're like, oh, well, she got fired for being pro-Israel, which is technically true. But they're not wrong when they say she's anti-Semitic. It's just, they knew she was anti-Semitic when they hired her. They knew she was anti-Semitic when she defended Kanye West over and over again. So did Ben Shapiro, mind you, until Kanye was like, I love Adolf Hitler, he's the greatest. And then Ben was like, okay, maybe Kanye is not the best guy. The point is, there's one thing much worse than anti-Semitism, and that's being anti-Israel. Okay? That's it. And Candace was definitely anti-Israel. And every single person knows that. Whether they recognize that, Candace is anti-Semitic or not, doesn't matter. Every single person. Yeah, even Kanye didn't disparage Israel when asked. Yeah, even he knows better. Every single person understands exactly why the fuck Candace Owens got fired. Every single person gets it. It's especially funny because, Ben has spent a whole lot of time talking about how he's a brave free speech warrior. That was his whole shtick for so long. And for years, I have said, since the beginning of my commentary experience, my commentary professional career, I've always said, all of these fucking guys that love talking about free speech always simultaneously advocate for the only singular real legislation that impacts the First Amendment in this country. That is anti-BDS laws. Ben Shapiro and everyone else loves censorship and actual violations of the First Amendment when it is anti-Israel speech. That's it. They have never been real free speech advocates, and everyone is seeing it now. Oh, also, as you guys know, I famously used this tweet many times regarding Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter's tweets regarding Jews, awful, nonsensical. Ann Coulter is also super pro-Israel and always has been, so I won't lose sleep. Ben does not care about anti-Semitism. Ben cares about anti-Israel sentiment. That's it. Barry Weiss is another great example of someone who has tailored herself as anti-identity politics, tailored herself as pro-free speech. Remember, Barry White's another person who loves identity politics when talking about Israel, and also being a lesbian woman that like hates trans people. So the idea that these people are fucking consistent intellectually, morally, blah, 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 doesn't matter. They are fucking not, okay? I'm glad that the rest of the world is finally catching on, though. I'm glad that they're getting smoked on this Israel shit because Israel is doing indefensible stuff.
Is not pro a country that is not ours?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Crazy. I wish.
So is the Daily Wire an American media platform or is it an Israeli media platform? I'm just asking.
This guy's cooking.
I'm just asking. If the rule is, I'm just saying, if the rule is you cannot be critical, because he has no problem being very critical of America.
Yep.
He's critical of the left in America. Left is half the country. You have no problem eviscerating half of the country.
That's the current party in power.
But you can't criticize Israel as a country. That's just another country, unless you're saying, and you're clearly admitting, that the Daily Wire is an arm of the Israeli, I guess, media or propaganda machine. Is that?
Oof.
Are you manipulating the religious right in America? Are you manipulating the right-wing conservatives in America and selling them country western movies and putting on your little cowboy hat and fake moving in Nashville so that you could take all their money and then in the process restricting free speech, one of the core tenets of the American identity? Ben.
No. I don't think Andrew understands. Ben Shapiro loves Israel because he's an ultra-Zionist. Having said that, however, there are plenty of Christian people that are employed at the Daily Wire who are just as ultra-Zionist. Why? Because a lot of the right wing is. Okay? A lot of the right wing in the United States of America, many more Christians than there are Jews in this country, many more far-right Christian Zionists in this country than there are Jewish Zionists in this country. This is a fundamental flaw that many are oblivious to. There's a fundamental reality that many are oblivious to because of the consistent propagandizing that like Israel is for Jews and Jews only, and only, Israel is the only place for Jews, and Zionism is actually Judaism, and anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, blah, 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 blah. This kind of propaganda totally leaves people astray. They don't know the reality. The reality that America is a far-right Christian country, and far-right Christian people fucking love Israel.